You're listening to the Bots and Bosses podcast, the only show where robots and humans attempt to work side by side. Presented by John Binks, technologist, author, and your AI-wrangling tour guide. So, buckle up and let's deep dive.
Welcome to the Bots and Bosses podcast, presented by John Binks.
Right.
This is episode 43.
Yeah.
And originally aired on June 8th, 2026.
Yes, it did.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
I want you to imagine walking up to the gates of the 2026 World Cup final.
Oh, that's a serious crowd.
Exactly. Huge crowd. But you don't have a paper ticket. And you don't even have like an app open on your phone.
Which is wild to think about.
Right. You just look at a camera, a green light flashes, and you walk right in. I mean, your face is your ticket.
It sounds incredibly convenient.
It does, until you realize, what it actually takes to secure the faces, the data, and just the sheer physical safety of 80,000 people simultaneously.
Yeah, that is no small feat.
Not at all. So today we are taking a deep dive into something that is going to fundamentally change how you, the listener, experience the largest gatherings of human beings on the planet.
Because the scale of this is just unprecedented.
Truly unprecedented. We are looking at the security and operational blueprints for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and right after that, the 2028 LA Olympics. And if you think these are just sporting events, you really need to think again.
Yeah, that's a huge misconception.
What we're actually looking at are unprecedented global stress tests.
That is exactly the right way to frame it. A massive real-time stress test. I mean, we are talking about testing our airports, our borders, our law enforcement.
All at the same time.
Right, all at the exact same time. Cyber defenses, media platforms, and honestly, most importantly, public trust.
Public trust is the big one.
Oh, absolutely. And the central variable in all of this, the thing that will either make these events run smoothly or just fail spectacularly, is our maturity with artificial intelligence.
Right, because the scale here is just staggering. I mean, we are talking about building a massive pop-up city overnight.
Essentially, yes.
The 2026 World Cup is the first one ever to feature 48 teams.
Which is a massive jump.
Right. Huge jump. And it's spread across 16 host cities spanning Canada, Mexico, and the United States, a whole continent.
Right. 3 different countries, 3 different sets of laws.
Exactly. And then right on its heels, you have the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games in Los Angeles, which is bringing hundreds of events, thousands of athletes, and millions of fans. You simply cannot secure a continent-wide event with just, metal detectors and bag checks anymore.
You really can't. I mean, a single stadium is incredibly complex to secure on its own.
Sure.
But when you expand that to a continental World Cup, you are no longer just securing a building. You are integrating transit hubs, hotels, training sites, fan zones, cloud platforms, mobile apps, all of it. And the mission of our deep dive today is to explore how AI is moving from being a mere sports novelty like, automated highlight reels or player tracking algorithms into the absolute critical operational backbone of these massive events.
I love that we're moving past the novelty phase, because when you have millions of people moving around, you have to keep them all safe without making it feel like a military fortress.
Yes, the fan experience has to remain positive.
Exactly. And that brings us to the physical reality of AI, because AI isn't just software living invisibly in the cloud anymore. It's physical. It's walking around.
Right.
You look at Boston Dynamics' Spot robot, for example.
Yes, the robotic dog. I don't know if you caught Mary Frayne. She's the senior director of product for Spot at Boston Dynamics.
Yeah, I did see that.
She did a really insightful interview recently on CNN, I believe, discussing the specific context of World Cup security.
It was fascinating.
It really was. The key thing to understand about Spot is how it actually uses AI to navigate human-built spaces. It's not just remote controlled, it's constantly building a real-time 3D map of its environment.
So it knows exactly where it is.
Exactly. It calculates how to shift its weight to walk upstairs or traverse uneven concrete. It's designed to get into areas where traditional fixed security cameras just have massive blind spots.
So it's essentially a highly mobile sensor platform. It's out there using thermal imaging and computer vision to look for, say, abandoned bags or blocked emergency pathways.
Or even unsafe structural conditions.
Right. Things that a human guard might miss or just take too long to reach. But here is my pushback on this entire concept.
Let's hear it.
Are people actually going to feel safe seeing that? Or will a robot dog patrolling a crowded stadium concourse just creep everyone out.
That is the million-dollar question.
Because, I mean, think about it. If I'm walking to my seat holding my kid's hand and a headless robot dog stomps past me, my first instinct isn't necessarily, oh, good, I'm safe. I might kind of freak out.
What's fascinating here is how the industry is addressing that exact psychological reaction. The best model for deploying this technology is not a robot versus human model.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Like where the machine is acting autonomously and barking orders at people. That's a nightmare scenario. It's a robot plus human model.
Oh, I see.
The robot is not replacing security professionals. It is extending their visibility. It helps human operators see around corners. It reduces unnecessary risk exposure for personnel, if they are investigating a suspicious package.
Right. Send the dog instead of a person.
Exactly. But you hit on the most critical point, the creep factor.
It's a real thing. Is communication really enough, though? If I read a sign in the stadium that says robot scanning for trip hazards, I'm still wondering if it's secretly logging my face into some law enforcement database. Trust isn't built just by putting up a cardboard sign.
You are absolutely right. And a mere sign is not enough, not even close.
Yeah.
The answer from organizers cannot be to just dismiss that concern or offer vague corporate assurances.
Right. Trust us. Doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. Robotics must be presented strictly as tools, not autonomous authorities making enforcement decisions. The public shouldn't have to guess if a robot is scanning their face, checking their identity, or just looking for a discarded backpack.
They need to know for sure.
Event organizers have to explicitly state what the technology does, what data it throws away, and critically, what it does not do.
Right. So if it's only doing thermal imaging,
Then they need to prove the optical cameras aren't retaining facial data. Hyper-transparent communication is the only way to manage public perception here.
okay, I can see that. If you explicitly prove to me that this robot is just checking the structural integrity of the stairs and looking for tripped wires,
Yeah.
I'm definitely more at ease.
Exactly.
But Spot the robot is highly visible. I mean, you can point at it, but Spot is only as secure as the Wi-Fi network it relies on to transmit its video feedback to the control room.
Oh, absolutely.
If a bad actor breaches the stadium's cloud architecture, that robot is essentially blind, which means we can't just secure the concrete, we have to secure the code.
That is the perfect transition, because connecting that physical environment to the broader threat surface is where the operational blueprints get genuinely intense.
How so?
Well, when most people think of event security, they picture that physical layer, right? The stadium entrance, the credential readers, the police presence.
The visible stuff.
Right. But security leaders today have to think in 4 connected layers. The first is that physical environment. The second is the digital environment.
And when you say digital, we are talking about the invisible infrastructure, right? Like ticketing systems, broadcast networks, and what they call operational technology.
Yes, OT.
Right. For anyone unfamiliar, operational technology, or OT, is essentially the digital switches that control the physical world. It's the code that controls the stadium's HVAC systems, the turnstiles, and the floodlights.
Precisely.
Yeah.
If you hack the operational technology, you could literally turn off the lights during a penalty kick.
Wow. Okay. What's the third layer?
Now, the third layer is the information environment, and this is where things get incredibly complicated.
I can imagine.
We are talking about social media narratives, impersonation, influence operations, and deepfakes.
Oh, deepfakes are terrifying.
They are. And finally, the fourth layer is the human environment. The fans, the athletes, the volunteers, the emergency responders, and the local communities hosting the games.
So those digital and information environments are massive, massive targets.
Huge.
Major sporting events are a magnet for bad actors because they combine a massive influx of money, extreme immovable deadlines, fragile technological dependencies, and, high human emotion.
A perfect storm.
Exactly. If you're a hacker, your golden opportunity isn't necessarily disrupting the game itself. It's that moment a fan is frantically trying to book a last-minute hotel room online.
Yes, the desperation makes people vulnerable.
You have cybercriminals and state-aligned actors setting up localized fake travel sites and executing payment fraud. And this triggers an absolute AI arms race.
It really does. On the defense side, you have security teams using AI to detect abnormal login patterns, triage suspicious communications, and synthesize massive amounts of threat intelligence.
Across multiple languages,
Yeah,
right?
in real time, across dozens of languages. But the attackers are using the exact same technology. They are using AI to clone the voices of customer service reps, write flawless, localized phishing emails, and generate fake ticketing portals that look absolutely indistinguishable from the real thing.
So what does this all mean? I mean, if both the good guys and the bad guys have AI, aren't we just creating a faster, more confusing battlefield? It feels like we're just accelerating the chaos instead of solving anything.
I get that. That is the core challenge for modern security teams right now. And the reality is that every single AI defensive strategy must fundamentally assume an AI-enabled adversary.
You have to assume they have it too.
Exactly. The question isn't whether AI will be used by attackers. It already is. But the solution isn't to just throw more algorithms at the problem.
Right. You can't just fight fire with more fire blindly.
No, you can't. AI shouldn't replace rigorous foundational security planning. It must strengthen it. You cannot treat AI as a magic fix that you just slap on top of weak protocols.
It's not a Band-Aid.
Exactly. If your basic security foundations like multi-factor authentication or network segmentation are flawed, an AI defense system will just fail faster and more spectacularly.
Okay, before we dive into how this invisible battlefield actually affects you, the listener, when you try to attend one of these games, let's take a quick pause. If you are enjoying our podcast, please click like and follow our show.
Yes, please do.
And remember to tell your friends about our show.
Welcome back. Let's bring this directly into focus for anyone planning to attend. How does all of this actually change your experience on the ground?
Right, because let's say you're flying into LAX for the Olympics, or you're crossing the border from Canada to the US for a World Cup match. You are part of this massive surge of international travelers.
It's a logistical nightmare.
It is. You've got VIPs, media, vendors, all hitting the border at the exact same time. And to handle this, we are going to see a massive deployment of AI-enabled biometric and digital identity systems at borders and access points, purely to reduce friction.
Yes. For events of this magnitude, identity verification is a core mission function. You simply cannot have tens of thousands of people backed up at an airport customs line or a stadium gate.
People would riot.
Exactly. So biometric systems, specifically facial comparison, are used to speed up processing.
How does that actually work on a technical level?
The system analyzes the geometry of your face in real time and compares it to the encrypted digital ID you submitted beforehand.
Okay.
It can process a person in milliseconds, detecting anomalies in cues and validating credentials instantly without a human guard having to manually check every single passport.
And we're going to see AI integrated right onto the field, too.
Mm.
It's fascinating how it works.
Oh, the on-field tech is incredible.
Take the connected ball tech they're rolling out. There is a literal sensor suspended inside the core of the soccer ball, sending data 500 times a second to cameras positioned all around the stadium.
500 times a second. Just think about that data volume.
Right. And that data, combined with AI tracking the exact limb positions of the players, allows for semi-automated offside decisions in seconds. They even have these 3D player avatars now.
It's incredibly precise.
It is.
Oh.
But here's where I get hung up. Those are highly visible, narrowly defined use cases. I get the ball tech. But my big concern is the privacy trade-off with the biometrics at the gates.
Yes, the privacy debate.
Sure, I want to skip the 3-hour line at the airport, but at what cost to my personal data? If my face is my ticket, who owns that scan of my face?
This raises an important question, and it is the exact question governance leaders are actively wrestling with right now.
I would hope so.
Issues of consent, data retention, and redress, meaning what is the exact mechanism to fix things if the AI misidentifies you? These are not public relations problems. They are strict governance requirements.
Right. It can't just be a terms of service box you check.
No, absolutely not. The public deserves to know exactly what data is being collected, why it is necessary, how long it will be kept, and who has access to it.
And what if I just say no? I mean, what if I am just fundamentally uncomfortable having my face scanned by a private contractor to watch a soccer game?
Then organizers must provide a clear, efficient alternative process for individuals who opt out wherever alternatives are available.
So like a regular ticket line.
Exactly. Transparency is an absolute condition for trust. If people feel forced into a biometric system without understanding the safeguards, you lose public confidence entirely.
And people push back.
They will.
Yeah.
And losing public confidence is a massive security risk in itself.
Especially because digital safety is now completely indistinguishable from physical event safety.
They are completely intertwined.
An online threat can instantly become a real-world panic. We aren't just talking about someone stealing your credit card to buy a jersey online. We are talking about targeted harassment campaigns against athletes that affect their mental health and performance.
Which is a huge issue.
Or, even more terrifying, deepfakes and manipulated videos that trigger actual physical confusion in a crowd.
Exactly. Let's walk through a scenario here. Imagine a highly convincing AI-generated fake evacuation notice.
Oh, man.
Right. It looks like it's coming from the official stadium account, complete with the right logos and automated voice alerts, and it's distributed on social media during a tense, incredibly crowded match.
People would just run.
That kind of digital misinformation can cause a physical stampede. It can cost lives.
That is chilling.
That is why digital safety and physical safety are no longer separate domains. They are part of the exact same operating picture. You cannot secure the physical stadium if you are losing control of the digital information environment surrounding it.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. With physical robots analyzing thermal data on the concourse, invisible cyber wars happening over the Wi-Fi, and biometric borders verifying our faces in milliseconds, who is actually in charge of keeping this all from falling apart?
It's a massive coordination effort. When you look at the operational blueprints for these events, planners are following a very specific playbook. And the very first recommendation in that playbook is the absolute necessity of an AI use case inventory.
An inventory, like a list.
Think of it like an ingredients list for a massive recipe. Every agency, venue, contractor, and tech partner has to log exactly where AI, biometrics, video analytics, and robotics are being used across the entire event.
That makes sense.
Because fundamentally, you cannot govern what you cannot track.
That makes total sense. If you don't even know, say, a third-party vendor is using an AI algorithm to manage crowd flow at the merchandise tents, you can't audit it or shut it down if something goes wrong.
Exactly, you're flying blind.
Another major strategy that stood out to me from the blueprints was this concept of red teaming the entire digital fan journey.
Yes, red teaming is crucial.
Can you explain that for the audience?
Sure. For those who might not know, red teaming isn't just a generic security review on paper. It's when you hire highly skilled ethical hackers to actively play the villain.
So they are literally attacking the systems.
Exactly. They sit in a room and try to break into your systems exactly like a cybercriminal would. Attackers will target emotional moments, ticket drop days, last-minute hotel bookings, VIP package upgrades.
When people aren't thinking clearly.
Right. Organizers need to think like the adversary and rigorously test the entire journey. That means the red team starts from the moment a fan types a search into Google, trying to intercept them with fake ads, all the way to buying the ticket, arriving at the airport, taking transit, entering the stadium, and even the post-event communications.
They test the whole chain.
You have to find the vulnerabilities before the attackers do.
They also emphasize treating misinformation as a severe operational risk, exactly like the fake evacuation notice we discussed. But here's where it gets really interesting to me.
What's that?
To manage all of this, they stress the need for a joint AI operations model, meaning the cyber team, the physical security team, the transport team, and the emergency managers cannot be operating on disconnected dashboards.
Right, no silos.
They all have to see the same big picture. It's what they call a system of systems. I like to think of it like an orchestra.
That's a good way to look at it.
If the stadium security at the gates is the percussion section and the city transit system is the string section, AI is acting as the conductor.
I like that analogy. And to extend it, if the strings start dragging, say, there's a massive delay on the trains, the conductor has to communicate that instantly to the percussion section.
Because everything is connected.
Right. If the physical security team at the stadium doesn't know those delayed trains are suddenly going to arrive all at once, you are going to have a dangerous crowd crush at the gates.
A huge bottleneck.
Exactly. The value of the AI isn't just the algorithm itself. The real value is in seamlessly coordinating the response across all those different agencies so the music doesn't fall apart.
And that requires massive vendor accountability. You've got cloud providers, ticketing apps, access control contractors, robotics providers. They all have to meet strict, unified requirements for data handling and incident reporting.
Everyone has to play by the same rules.
Exactly. I just marvel at the sheer human coordination required to pull this off. Because the goal of AI in this context is supposed to be about reducing the noise for human decision makers.
That's the ideal, yes.
It's supposed to sift through millions of data points and highlight the real threats so humans can act. It shouldn't be creating this opaque black box environment where an algorithm makes a choice to lock a gate and no one can explain why it happened.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, that is the ultimate leadership lesson hidden within these massive undertakings.
Which is?
The World Cup and the Olympics will not be won by technology alone. AI, robotics, and biometrics are incredibly powerful tools, but they should be used to make the human system stronger, more aware, and not less accountable.
So humans are still in the loop.
Always. Human judgment is the ultimate safeguard. People must remain accountable for decisions that affect access, safety, rights, and emergency response. You simply cannot outsource your accountability to an algorithm.
It's a fascinating balance. We are deploying the most advanced technology in human history, but its success relies entirely on disciplined planning, strong partnerships, and human judgment, which leaves us with a lot to think about as we approach 2026 and 2028.
It does. And I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to ponder, building on this idea that these massive events are creating a new standard.
Okay, let's hear it.
If these integrated systems, the biometrics scanning faces in milliseconds, the robotics patrolling the physical space, the misinformation control across social media, the joint operations dashboards tracking everything, if they prove successful at managing millions of people safely across a continent for the World Cup, what are we really looking at?
What do you?
Are we actually watching the beta test for the future infrastructure of our everyday smart cities?
Oh, wow. That's a huge thought.
The legacy of these games might not be a trophy or a gold medal. The real legacy might be the permanent blueprint for how modern technology-driven society is governed long after the stadiums empty out.
Today's show is human-inspired and powered with AI assistance.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to visit us, www.botsandbosses.com.
Check it out.
Remember, the bots are getting smarter, but you're still the boss.
Well, that's a wrap of this episode of the Bots and Bosses podcast. Enjoyed the show? Don't just listen. Follow the Bots and Bosses podcast and connect with John Binks online. Remember, the bots are getting smarter, but you're still the boss. For now, see you next time.